There you are. You're in full stride. You're doing really good. You're running along. Your endorphins are amazing. And then you feel it. Then you feel something that you haven't felt before. And you're quite scared. You're quite unsure what this means now that you've felt this, right? Or you've heard something to your body that you haven't heard before. I want to share with you something that will effectively get rid of this kind of fear or concern. See, for me, in 2023, I started running again with the view that I wanted to achieve a faster 5K time. And over time, the run started off relatively straightforward. There were, a 3K run here, 4K here. It was like one run a week. Then somewhat that then led into 2 runs a week, and then 3. And I think the highest I ever got was maybe like five runs in a week, like towards more the November, December time at that point. I think I started running more Feb in 2023. But I kind of want to share with you how I messed up and what I learned or learned through this, and what you can do and implement so that you don't have to worry or put yourself at risk or injury for that matter. See, the thing is, I'd come to understand that in order to run faster, while simply running will help, to really get those times down faster and just push yourself to the next level, you need to do what's known as speed work sessions. Sessions where you're pushing your body to quite a limit in order to break through that upper echelon of fitness and just really drive that new ability of your body, just knowing what it feels like to run faster and getting comfortable with that. Because to run a race really quickly, you have to run it fast, right? So by running it faster, you eventually acclimate to it, right? Well, that's the thing. Speed work sessions. So the speed work session that I would do would be 5 1-kilometer repeats. Each kilometer would be done at what's known as my race pace, which is 4 minutes, if not just a bit under 4 minutes, with a recovery in between. Obviously, I would jog there as a warm up and then jog back as a warm down. But that was like how it would go. And obviously, when the first time I did a speed work, I think I could only do 3 intervals because it was so tough. And then I did 4, and then eventually I did 5. And here's kind of where I messed up, because I'd do another session of speed. This was the weekend run, the park run. Park run, for any of those of you that aren't initiated in this, is when you go and do a run that's in a park. It's free. It's 5 kilometers. You get your time, you get a placing, and it's awesome. It's like an actual community-led fun run, but it's like got that element of competition and gets you excited and stuff. It's awesome. I'd seriously recommend doing the park run if you're at a point where it's safe for you to run, when your frame's lighter and you're less likely to get yourself injured and you've worked up to the ability to do a 5K. So that's the thing. It's a 5K plus the other 5K speed work session. So it's like 10Ks of fast running during the week. In an ideal week, I would set up the speed work, so I do it on the Wednesday, and then I'd do the park run on the Saturday, right? Because the Saturday never moved for the park run. So that was kind of the expectation for me. So by kind of doing that, I was attempting to give myself that option. And here's where this is kind of interesting, because in my mind, you think you have to work hard, push really, really, really like a crazy level to get to that next level, which is true. But like you'd kind of wake up and not feel particularly inspired to do it. And I know sometimes it's hard, you have to do those efforts, and I would do them. But what I didn't realize, this is actually putting myself at risk. And at one point, when I think it happened, was I'd done a speed work session on the Friday and then the run on the Saturday. So 2 back-to-back hard sessions. Obviously, this is something that you should never do because it's super dumb, but I did it anyways. And that was really stupid of me. I guess what I'm leading into is what's known as the 80-20 principle. The secret that I wish I'd discovered earlier. And this came about because, like I said, that feeling I had at that run was me thinking I'd actually injured myself. So long story short, I effectively summarized this before in other videos, but I saw a sports doctor, got some tests, did an MRI, saw the sports doctor again, confirmed it wasn't a fracture, but my bone was starting to, effectively the side bone was starting to show signs of inflammation and stress, which would lead to a fracture. So I was basically on the path to it, so to speak. And that's when I met with the podiatrist that was an Olympic level runner, like a steeplechaser. And that's when he shared the secret. He shared the 80-20 principle after hearing how I would go about my runs. And then went a step further to say he follows the 90-10 principle, being that 90% of his runs were easy or considered easy, and only 10% of the training was hard. Seems fair enough. That's pretty cool. And that's it. That was, hearing that, the 80-20 and the 90-10, put a sigh of relief over myself, because I thought I conditioned myself to think to get to this level of speed or new time, I have to really push myself and really put in lots of speed work sessions and everything. But little did I realize that wouldn't actually help me out. And in that sense, if I wanted to do 2 speed work sessions in the week, I had to completely be more invested in running, if that makes sense. Like, I'll explain. So if you're doing 2 5K runs, that's 10 Ks of speed work, right? 10 hard efforts on your body, 10 Ks of hard effort on your body. If you were to do, say, another 10 Ks worth of running during the week, so like 5 and then another 5, your workload split is this 50-50 rule, right? Even if you increase it and do another run, you might get to 60-40. Okay, you're still quite a while off. If I was to actually operate at that level of wanting to do 2 speed work sessions of 5K each, I'd have to be running a total of 50Ks, so another 40Ks of easy during the week to have that conditioning so my body would know what's going on. And obviously space them out so that, you know, they're not day after the other, right? Have a proper plan. And that's when I was like, okay, well, how to have this in a way that I'm working 9 to 5 and really integrate this better, 1 speed work session is enough. So then we drop it down to 1. So now when I go back into my running, that's the thing. I'll probably aim to do, based on this principle now, 4 runs of 5K, easy pace, and then 1 speed work session. So 5 runs a week, right? Pretty achievable. Don't have to run like 7 or 6 days a week if I was to do, say, the 50Ks, because that's a lot of mileage. And obviously I will mention that conditioning is important as well when getting back into running or starting running for the first time. But that's the thing, like it reframed my mind and sort of said, well, it's okay, like, relax. And that gives me the confidence to know that I can work hard in that speed work session and it will be okay. And then I'll have other runs to just enjoy running. And that's the beauty of it. Easy runs are something to be enjoyed. They are something you can put some music onto in the morning to relax, to listen to a podcast, to learn something. Just being out in nature first thing in the morning, just having that fresh air, having the sight of the sunrise, it's phenomenal. It just really sets your mind up. And that's what I was scared of, I guess, doing this training and getting myself injured, that I wouldn't be able to do this again. That really freaked me out. But knowing this, that I can look forward to training and do the hard session when I need to do that hard session, and then kind of, you know, take it easy in the other sessions. Although from that, I did learn that my running efficiency could be tuned better in the easy jogs, making the easy jogs more efficient and therefore faster. I mean, obviously, the more you run, the faster your easy jogs will get, which is fantastic. So you're kind of like, they're not like a waste of time if you think I'm going too easy. You should be able to maintain like a talking pace almost. It's a zone 2 training, if you will, for purposes of heart rate, right? Something that's at least 1 minute slower than your race pace. These are the things that kind of help to gauge and dictate what an easy run or easy pace is. And that's it. That's what I want to share, that I want you, if you're seeking to or in a position to run, I want you to have this in mind. I want you to remember this. Now, if you are in a position where you're overweight and you would eventually like to get into running or want to find a way to lose weight in such a fun way and sustainable, and you won't have the risk of getting injured like you do with running, because running is an equation of fatigue or fatigue over, I think it was load. So the more the load and intensity over load. So the higher the intensity and the higher the load, more likely to get injured. Even if the intensity is so-so, but your load's really a lot, you're still going to have that chance of injury. Which is where I come in and have what's known as life cycles, where you can actually ride a bike for your entire life and have a training program of how to succeed and just have that next level of fitness, have the weight, the pounds, the kilos, just shred straight off by following the principles in this. And this comes about me crystallizing all of my lessons through these 6 years into something that you can, like phases of this. The first phase, getting the bike, getting the perfect bike for you, what bike and sizing, making sure it's the bike for you, right? Getting on the bike, safety, equipment, what you need, what you don't need, how to save money. Training on the bike, the actual training you need to do, kind of again, the 80-20 rule. What trainings you should do on a daily, what trainings you do once a week, how to get to that next level of fitness in a safe way, right? Zipping off the bike, and as well as on the bike nutrition, but off the bike nutrition partly, as well as the recovery involved. So you get back on the bike and you're ready to go again. So the thing is, the bike's beautiful because it doesn't have that same risk of injury that the running does. So you can go you can ride your bike every single day, which is awesome, right? So that's where it's at. Like, it kind of gives me this sense going forward that it's okay. Like, as long as I push in those times of pushing and take the foot off the gas in those times, it will all work out, and I'll be able to get to those times and desires and results and goals that I'm seeking in due course without having to stop and start up again in the most efficient way, right? Building that good base, that foundation, and not being too confident or cocky. Now, if you kind of still not sure where to start and kind of want some additional accountability, I do offer some coaching, which if you click the link below, you can send me some questions ahead of time and I can prepare those answers, and we can have a good 60-minute discussion figuring out what's the best way forward for you to help you with your goals, your fitness, your weight loss, and how we can kind of really tailor those in and figure out what's the 80-20 rule for you and how that's going to help skyrocket your performance and fitness and weight loss to the next level. What's that 20% that you can do that will really help put everything in place and together. So this now means that when you're at that point, you can safely conquer the mountain and conquer life, right? Because you're following that. Thank you so much. Conquer mountains, conquer life.